a little bit to your person. You're, as you told me, came all the way from Russia.
Yeah, I came from Moscow.
And
Raphael is here. Nice.
And you are since 1.5 years on Steemit?
Yeah, something like that. I actually found out about Steemit when I was interviewed for a job at Golos, which is a fork of Steemit. I think it was around a year and a half ago. And I was curious about what Golos is, and it was pretty interesting, but Steam was actually more interesting because it had so much going on for it at the moment, and yeah, it was fun.
Okay, then I'd like to say your stage. I'm really interested to see what your stuff is doing, and we'll be maybe joining some more people while you're talking.
So, is there anybody joining? 5 what? 5 people? 5 minutes? 5 seconds? What? 5 in 5 minutes. Oh, okay. I will go on. So I will try to start with the story from my past, from my childhood. When I was little, I was a huge fan of Pokemon. You know what Pokemon is? It's like, well, Steam Monsters, but from the past, and it was pretty simple. It was a cartoon, and it was some games on Nintendo, so I was a huge fan, and I also liked to draw. And I liked to draw Pokemons, but nobody really liked my drawings. I was little, and I was pretty... I was sad because of that, and nobody could really appreciate them for some reason. They actually looked like... I'm sorry, I forgot the mouse. They actually looked like that. These are not my actual drawings, mind you, but they were pretty simple, well, simplistic, I'd say. And I was not a professional artist. I wasn't trying to be one. I was just drawing for fun. And the thing is, I feared that my talent at the time had no objective value. So, but in reality, as I found out later, what I needed was to find someone who would value it subjectively. Yeah, okay, there's some more people. Or okay, come in. So, and I actually did found someone to value it subjectively. So when I have a sister, she's 4 years younger than me, and when we were both little, I was 8, and I think she was 4, and we were left home all alone for the first time in our lives by our mother, and she feared it wasn't the best decision to do, but she had no choice at the time, so she did it. When she was coming back, she was trying to hear what was happening inside the house, and what she heard was dead silence. She was fearing the worst, that something happened, that we killed each other or something like that. And, well, while in reality we were in the middle of a trade deal, I was selling my pictures to my sister, who was, well, more little than me. She was 4 years old, but she had some money, and I needed that money. And I found out that she actually liked my drawings. And I sold them, and actually everybody was happy. My mother was relieved that nothing happened, and she was happy because we were actually interacting, not fighting like we used to before. I was happy because I had enough money to buy something for me, and my sister was happy because she had something unique. For the money that, well, she didn't have understand the real value to, but she couldn't get it anywhere else, and she got it from me. And I also learned something about the subjective value. So, almost 2 decades later, I read the Steam white paper. And I found out about the part, that was called the subjective proof of work. That's actually, well, it's the same thing. And, now here I am at the SteemFest at the, epicenter of all the people creating their subjective proofs of work for the world to see and hear and perceive. And I'm actually very happy to be here, because I've never seen a community like that, so vibrant and diverse. And I've actually came here to learn from you guys, because what you have here is very unique for me, and I'd like to learn from what you have experienced as a Steam community, and I like to receive feedback on what I have to say, what the product is, what the product that we're doing is. So it's as I said earlier to some people in here, it's very similar to Steam, but it's very different at the same time. So I will start quickly about the consensus algorithm. I know not everybody is interested about that, but that's the core thing. Mind you, the Steam is run on DPOIs just like BitShares and EOS, and this is what we think is the DPOI is what I want to tell you about. So it stands for Delegated Proof of Importance. You can actually read about it on my T-shirt, on the back of my T-shirt. I have it printed out in there. So why is it so important? During the last years, we had. I'm pretty sure you know most of this, but I have to just put this in the context. We had three major paradigm shifts. So the first one was fiat to cryptocurrency. We had this nice man tell us about how it actually is happening out there. So fiat is getting replaced little by little. So there's no going back after that. The genie is out of the bottle. We've already tasted it. We know what it is like. So this was the best step, and the most important. So the second one was from cryptocurrency to the infrastructure. That's the Ethereum virtual machine and other virtual machines that allow smart contracts to be run, that allow whole systems to be built, that allow DApps. That Steam also allows DApps, and so it's getting bigger and bigger. And the last paradigm shift was from the blockchain infrastructure to the whole economic system, with governance, with nodes that are judging the different situations, that are resolving conflicts, that there's resources that are being traded, and somewhere between the second and the third steps, the depots happened. And Steam is run on depots, and it's really cool. It's really nice. It's scalable. It's high throughput. It's what makes Steam, because when I started using Steam, I was amazed at how quick it was with the transactions, because Bitcoin is around 30 minutes, Ethereum is 15-30 seconds, which is still very slow compared to, I don't know, Visa. So Steam was like lightning fast for me. And I was amazed. So, what is the next thing? What would you need to add next? What we think is you'd need to add importance, because DPOIS stands for Delegated Proof of Stake, but stake is not the only thing we're interested in here, because me and you as a Steam community, I'm pretty sure you have more values than just stake, than just money. So what is importance? Importance actually consists of stake as well, but it also has transactional activity taken into account, and it has social activity taken into account. So whenever someone transacts you something, whenever someone makes a transaction towards you, it means that he's buying something from you, and he's buying something that you've brought to the system, which means you made the economy better, which means that you made it stronger because you've brought something from the outside, and you used local currency of the system, say, Steam's, to get paid for that. And which means you're more important to the system now. And then there's social activity, which works pretty similar to how it works on Steam. except that there's a lot of, we worked hard, for around half a year to fight the problem with the bots, to fight the problem with the multiple accounts voting for each other, and I can tell you more about it later after the presentation if you're interested, but there's many details to that. I will not go into that now. So, this is, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll go to the next slide now. Why is it all important? Because I'm pretty sure this slide is actually not liked very much by the whales, if they were here, of course, because stake should not be the only thing that's taken into account when the emission is distributed on the blockchain. That's what we believe, because the meaningful interactions that you people create on the Steem blockchain, that people in other blockchains create, they should be valued. They should be tracked by the protocol. They shouldn't be randomly rewarded. They should be inside the system. They should be something that's known as a meaningful activity that can be rewarded easily. So what we built was the UOS blockchain. It's in the testnet phase now, and we have the first use case for it is called uCommunity, which is the social platform, and this is how it looks like. It's actually, you see those numbers with grade signs, so it actually is important. So every piece of content and every person, every object, like an organization, like communities, we have communities, which is a collection of people. Everything has its own importance based on what it created, or who created it, or what's inside in case of organization. And the content is being, of course, rated in terms of importance. So we also have interface for the wallet already. It's with the resources. So we're trying to make it as simple as possible, as seamless as possible, because we understand that people from the outside of the bubble we're living in, let's face it, they don't need the data, the information about the using blockchain. They need to just use the product and be happy with it. And so that's what we're trying to achieve, as simple as possible. You've seen my presentation, it's just black and white, so I'm going for the simple things. And I hope this presentation was as simple as possible for you and understandable, but I'm open for questions. Here's my contacts on Steem and on Telegram. And there's our GitHub. For those of you very keen to know what DPOI is in more details, there's a GitHub and there's a documentation in there. There's our yellow paper, and uCommunity is pretty much our manifesto, what we believe in, and we're basing our values very heavily on Steem philosophy. And we'd love to hear all the feedback you can give us to what you've just heard, because I believe you have the best right to do that. So because you've had this experience of community based on content and rewarding by the protocol. So yeah, that's all. Thank you.
One, two. Yeah, thank you very much for that speech. Do we have any questions? There are questions. Wonderful.
Great presentation.
Thank you.
Real nice and simple. I love the touches in the beginning with the Pokemon.
Yeah.
How do I sign up? How do I start?
You go to uCommunity, and the beta is actually, you go to uCommunity, and there's a big blue button that says apply for beta. By the way, yeah, I'm so stupid. I actually forgot that we have different activities for different types of people. For those of you who want to develop something, want to try things, want to break things, want to tell us that they broke things and, how to fix them and get something for it, there's actual bounty campaign for that. because we're now in testnet phase and there's a lot going on. We've already broken this blockchain a few times and, we've repaired it, which was a great experience for everyone, including me trying to defend us from the users that were yelling at us. But still, we also have a reward pool. I will get to your question then. Anyway, we have a reward pool for people who want to write content and want to try things out at our platform and want to see how it actually works in terms of, rewards. It's still testnet, it's not worth anything, but if you earn something inside and, you will carry on that importance. If you're important in the testnet phase, you're still important in the mainnet phase, which is, pretty soon. It's not going to happen for a month at least, but is going to start pretty soon. And on November 10, we're planning at least to open the beta for everyone. So on this simple website, u.community, that's the actual website address. We couldn't put the great symbol in the address box, but so we had to use the dot. But you can sign up for beta, and you will receive the notification when it's available. But by all means, just come to me and I will tell you more about how to get to it. I will tell you how to get, sort of more exclusive access, because that is just the website for all the people, and you Steemians, you deserve, some more exclusive features. And that's how you do it.
Okay, so just going to u.community.
Yeah.
And then whatever we work on there, whether it's breaking shit or creating shit, that stuff moves on to your release. Whatever we earn.
Well, the importance moves on, so you start with more importance. That's what we're planning to do for now. But there's also separate pools of tokens, of actual mainnet tokens that you're going to get if you create some content. If you're early bird gets the worm. Early adopters will get everything in the system, because I don't have the graphs with me. I'm stupid. I'm sorry. But the graph goes like this with the early adoption right here, and then people will get less and less things. So, if you want to try it out just for fun for now, maybe you're investing your time and resource into something that's going to be great. We're going to make sure it's going to be big. So and we're not selling tokens or anything, by the way. We're splitting all of the tokens either to people who created something that tried to do something on the platform during the early days or during the testnet phase, and we're also going to spread it to Steam community, EOS community, and BitShares community. So we're going to spread it as thin as possible. Because what we're trying to achieve here is to reduce the whale problem. I'm pretty sure you're familiar with that. So we're trying to make the initial distribution as even as possible, so that everyone has more opportunity to actually earn, to actually progress towards something, to actually make it into a content creator that's rewarded for what he does, or whatever role you choose. Yeah.
Okay, we have another question.
I got actually 3 of them. Is the supply of your tokens limited, first of all?
No. It's not.
Okay.
The initial distribution, of course, is somewhere around 1 billion, but then it's not limited, because then will be emission.
Okay.
5% a year.
Is the importance of on your platform something similar somehow to Steemit Power, and also
in a way, yes, it is similar in the essence of it, yes, but it's not the same thing, because there's some differences. I can tell about that more in details later.
Okay, and the last one, how the importance of each article, by which criteria this importance is measured?
It's subjective. It's subjective, pure proof of work. If someone likes it, this means it's valuable for someone. This means it should be, upvoted on the platform, visible, that it's upvoted by someone. And if someone else upvotes another article, it's subjectively good for someone else. So that's how it works. It works the same way as in Steemit.
But okay, what's the problem of creating a couple of accounts and just creating the content of all of them and upvoting?
Yeah, sure. That's the Sybil attack problem that hasn't been solved completely by anyone, but we actually made it so that it's very difficult and expensive to do that because, well, there's several factors. I can actually go into technical details about that, but to make it short, importance works like Google PageRank. Those of you who know what this is, you understand what I mean. But also on top of that, there's clusterization. So if you create a cluster of accounts that vote for each other, you're not going to get anything because the protocol will know. So yeah, this is called NCD Aware Rank. We actually used this from the NEM project, you know, the NEM blockchain. They have it, but in very simple way. So we progressed with this and we used it to battle the bots because we understand that bots are a major problem in systems like that. Yeah, I can tell you more if you want to know later. Yeah. Oh, there's one more question.
One more question. One more last question.
Okay, so I'm gonna hope you can make this quick.
Yeah.
Because it's a pretty complicated
I will
question.
try to.
But can you give a TLDR on how the social activity part is actually calculated by your systems?
How the social activity is calculated?
Yeah, for the importance.
Well, you get upvoted. Then there's different matrices that are calculated by the separate nodes, not the block producer nodes, but some other nodes that we have, and they calculate a lot of matrices. They need to know who upvoted who and what were their importance at the time, and well, several other factors. And then some importance is transferred from one to another, and then the one upvoted gets more important than other people, but the importance is only equal to 1 for all the system. So he only gets part of the whole system's importance. So that's how it works.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Quite interesting. I will follow your activities